Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Taylor Swift is most certainly not unusual with regards to fixing records. Yet did you at any point envision that she would top the rundown with regards to the most horrendously terrible carbon producers on the planet yet? How did Taylor Swift's answer get uncovered for causing extreme environmental hurt? Recall how Kylie Jenner was hauled through the mud for a really long time for being an environment criminal. The record superstar Jets shared a few updates from Kylie Jenner's personal luxury plane, and there was a post from which he required a 12-minute flight. They likewise shared a post where Kylie took a flight that took off from Camarillo, California, and arrived in Vietnam's what might be compared to a 40-minute vehicle ride, yet with a private stream that is around 3 minutes on Twitter. Devotees called her an environment criminal like one individual composed of 80 individuals who have never flown, and Kylie Jenner is over here, requiring normal brief flights 5 trips, somewhat recently under 30 minutes. One was 3 minutes in length. Her carbon impression briefly flight is more than certain individuals make in a year. Reports likewise noticed that personal luxury planes discharge 2 tons of carbon dioxide in only 1 hour. That is about how much carbon dioxide an ordinary individual produces in a single year. A personal luxury plane is additionally between 5 to multiple times more dirtying than the typical Airbus per individual, and multiple times more contaminating than prepares well for reasons unknown. Kylie isn't even the most terrible. With regards to fossil fuel byproduct, Yard directed a review and furthermore posted on Twitter. You presumably saw Kylie Jenner's musically challenged post about her and Travis Scott's matching personal luxury planes. Well, we focused on the most terrible personal luxury plane carbon dioxide discharge wrongdoers, and the results are stunning, consistent with their promise. The outcomes were stunning in light of the fact that Miss Kylie didn't actually come to the main 10 most obviously terrible guilty parties, yet the first spot on the list was Taylor Swift. As per the report, Taylor's plane had taken 170 trips by the end of July 2022, with a typical flight season of 80 minutes, prompting an absolute flight season of over 380 hours. With normal utilization of fly fuel assessed at 128 gallons for each excursion, her complete carbon dioxide outflows got started at 8,293 tons. Yard said it gathered information from VIP Jets, which tracks the utilization of personal luxury planes across the globe, and utilizing this information, Yard then determined plausible all-out carbon dioxide discharges for every VIP's fly up until this point this year. Obviously, Taylor Swift got a lot of backfire when the report emerged, with individuals posting remarks like this is so goading to peruse. I fail to really see how somebody can experience along these lines and not give an explanation of its impact in the world. I want to see it, but I super don't support. Additionally, address why Taylor was in any event voyaging so much, taking into account she isn't on visit like one composed. I'm a fan as well, and that is such a distinction even among her and different polluters on the rundown. Totally nuts. Particularly when she hasn't even been visiting another person, likewise composed on Twitter. I want to represent all individuals when I say Taylor Swift is nauseating, and someone else added for somebody who sings about driving trains, transport stops, and vehicles. It turns out Taylor Swift likes to involve her personal luxury plane in what might be a 2-hour vehicle ride. I can't completely accept that she attempted to persuade her fans. She's a lobbyist. What's more, a few group composed that we were all broiling Kylie Jenner for her 17-minute trip, while Taylor Swift was over here flying her stream pretty much consistently, like she needs to rival birds or something. Best trust that when Taylor Swift came to the first spot on the list as the most infamous environment criminal, Swifties were additionally prepared with their safeguard. One individual composed, this is turning out to be another Taylor Swift is over party look. I'm not saying that she does. Ain't dirty like each and every other human, however, essentially pinpointing the fault towards her alone with information from a Twitter account is simply uncalled for. Another person additionally added, broski, what is it with all the bogus data with Taylor? Like first, it was the misleading gossip. That talk currently won the brand name, and presently, it's the moronic fly fuel diluting information. There are additionally the people who didn't simply talk on the side of Taylor, yet they really introduced seed their realities about why the review was unjustifiable. Above all else, they noticed that the review was directed by Yard, who gathered their flight information from celeb streams, so the information was not well informed. They likewise said that the record accumulates data from information from ads preyed in arbitrary individuals on Twitter, and since anybody could present any case, which isn't confirmed. The information was not exact. Swifties additionally brought up that the fly reference to be utilized by Taylor is really DSALT, which is a climate accommodating organization that even won an honor back in 2014 for monstrous assistance in forestalling contamination comes from personal luxury planes. They additionally noticed that the quantity of trips in the flight term isn't precise information to validate the carbon dioxide emanations, so it was impractical that Taylor Swift had 170 trips in 7 months alone. As per Swifties, applying normal is a mistaken factual measure since it's affected by exceptions and examination didn't utilize standard deviation or different strategies. The adherents were likewise slammed, with individuals saying that they were not getting the point since even with moderate appraisals, Taylor still produces multiple times more than customary working individuals in the midst of environment emergency, and they ought to presumably think of it more about the planet than a VIP. Like one individual noticed, each and every personal luxury plane flight is in excess of. She's just a single individual among a large number of rich individuals, proprietors of organizations, directors, and so forth, obliterating this planet on the backs of the unfortunate. There's really no need to focus on making the feel horrible of your number one mogul. It's about existence and demise. Another person likewise said to this ND disdain VIP culture you can partake in their music and their craft and like them as an individual, yet this love thing individuals do when somebody is accomplishing something clearly off base. It's simply crazy. So other than Taylor Swift yard likewise notice that second on the most obviously terrible safeguards list was fighter Floyd Mayweather, whose fly has an all-out flight time up to this point, this extended period of 326 hours for assessed carbon dioxide discharges of 70 tons. He was trailed by Jay-Z's at 321 hours and 6,900 tons and a bar at 246 hours and 5,300 tons. The information likewise uncovered that a number 5 was Blake Shelton, who has taken an astounding 111 trips on his personal luxury plane this year with 12,424 minutes spinning in the air. Then at number 6 was movie chief Steven Spielberg, taking 61 flights this year and radiating 4,465 tons of carbon dioxide from his personal luxury plane, which is 630 times more than the normal individual's yearly outflows. Steven Spielberg, anyway, has the second longest typical flight time on the rundown. Coming in at number 7 was Kim Kardashian, whose stream transmitted 4,268.5 tons of fossil fuel byproducts north of 57 flights, 609. 8 times more than the normal individual emanates in a year. Kim's typical flight time was 85.49 minutes for a typical excursion length of 99.78 miles. Her most brief excursions incorporate a 38-minute trip to Palm Springs radiating 3 tons of carbon dioxide in a 23-minute departure from San Diego, California, to Camarillo, likewise California, and keeping in mind that Kylie Jenner's typical flight time was 24. 5 minutes. Yards exploration found that she doesn't make the main 10 of VIP producers anyway. Travis Scott does, piling up 3,033.3 lots of carbon dioxide discharges simply this year. As per devotees via virtual entertainment, that multitude of individuals recorded have the right to confront the results of their activities, and one individual even composed polluters have options until further notice. Yet so do you. Don't need to pay attention to Taylor Swift's music or go to her shows. You don't